to the accused, Jagdish Tytler, Kamal Nath as well as Sajjan Kumar. But beyond the politicking, ladies and gentlemen, there are the facts. Over 2,800 people were killed in the riots, and till date, just around 20 people have been convicted for murder. That is a conviction rate of below 1%. In fact, Sajjan Kumar was sentenced to life in prison in 2018. That is 34 years after the riots. The same year, the court system, which rejected 3 clean chits against Jagdish Tytler, ordered the CBI to expedite the investigation against him. We are now in 2023, and Tytler continues to hold senior positions in the party. He has not been sacked. His presence only echoes the words of former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi when he said that when a mighty tree falls, the ground around it shakes. So is Rahul Gandhi in any position, ladies and gentlemen, to give a message of unity from a Sikh holy site? That is the big question we raise on News Epicenter. What has the BJP done beyond keeping the ghost of 1984 alive to target the Congress? That is another question for the Saffron camp to answer. Is this purely a battle of optics with justice on the back burner?
हमने सोचा था कि देश को एक दूसरा रास्ता भी दिखाना चाहिए, मोहब्बत का, एकता का, भाईचारे का, और इसीलिए हमने ये यात्रा शुरू की।
Rahul Gandhi ji, leave Bharat Jodo and start a hypocrisy chodo abhiyan. On the one hand, you visit Golden Temple, Fatehgarh Sahib Gurudwara. On the other hand, the Congress party extends a hand of patronage and protection to Jagdish Tytler, to Kamal Nath, to Sajjan Kumar.
Let's get to our guest. I'm joined by RP Singh, BJP spokesperson on the broadcast, as well as Ashpreet Khadial, Congress spokesperson, Hemant Natri, senior journalist, as well as Ravi Srivastava, political analyst. Good evening, gentlemen, and thank you for joining us on CNN News 18 when it comes to this political face-off that has erupted between the BJP and the Congress once again over the 1984 anti-Sikh riots. Ashpreet, I'll come to you first. Now, when it comes to Rahul Gandhi's unity pitch, his entire Bharat Jodo message that he's been taking across the country, do you think it was important for him to give that message to all those people who had suffered in the 1984 anti-Sikh riots from this Sikh holy site, to say that we are with you and those scars of the past will be healed and they will never be repeated? Do you think that message was important coming from Rahul Gandhi?
Number one, before I start with the answer, the Bharatiya Janata Party has no locus standi to ask us any questions, because in Punjab itself, they have been limited to 3 seats, and there's a very valid reason behind that. They were with the Akali Dal as an alliance partner for 2 terms. Under that regime, there were multiple sacrilege incidents that happened. As a matter of fact, 126 Beed Saab-related protests took place. Innocent people were shot at, and under the farm laws, so-called, great farm laws that the Bharatiya Janata Party took back, 700 farmers were martyred. And not just that, under the Bharatiya Janata Party, it's the Bharatiya Janata Party's record itself that 3,400 communal riots have taken place just in a couple of years under the Bharatiya Janata Party's regime. So do they even have the right to ask us questions? Number 2, in 2002, when the people of Punjab voted Congress to power, that was for a reason. We had apologized in the parliament, and Mr. Gandhi, although had nothing to do with it, there was no say in it, there was no decision making of Mr. Gandhi. Nevertheless, he apologized, because that is what a good leader does. But the Bharatiya Janata Party has till date not apologized for the 700 farmers that died, that were martyred, for the people that were shot at.
I'm waiting for you to answer my question beyond you make the political point. I'm still waiting, actually.
You're waiting for what?
for you to answer the question, should that message, when it comes to the anti-Sikh riots of 1984, the scars of the past and the fact that this Bharat Jodo Yatra, this message of unity, Rahul Gandhi making that point that this will never be repeated, what happened in 1984, the most abhorrent statement that when a mighty tree falls, the ground shakes, that this kind of mindset is in the past. Should Rahul Gandhi have made that statement from the holy site of the Sikhs in Fatehgarh?
See, again, the Bharatiya Janata Party does not tell us what to say, how to say, when to say. They are a party that has given tickets to terror accused. They are a party under which regime, multiple thousands of communal riots have taken place, multiple people have died. And not just that, this very Bharatiya Janata Party has promoted leaders to ministers for having made communal remarks. And I won't even repeat them because they're not civil. They're not.
But I'm asking you, should Rahul Gandhi... But you're still not answering my question.
So all I'm saying
you're
is,
taking a shot at the BJP, that's
see,
your right. But
what I'm basically saying is that it is secondary. The fact of the matter is that the Bharat Jodo Yatra is against inflation. It is against unemployment. It is against hatred. It is against communalism. If you are against Bharat Jodo Yatra, you are for these things. And not just that, right now, you can see we're all wearing jackets. We are sitting in the comforts of our home in heaters. And at this point of time, there is a yatra going on. And, these people are also making fun of Mr. Gandhi as to why he was wearing a t-shirt.
I think you're not interested in answering that question, so it's okay. RP Singh...
This is the answer. This is the answer. That it is secondary. What is primary is the message of the Bharat Jodo Yatra, Nafrat Chodo or Bharat Jodo, which the Bharatiya Janata Party does not want to understand.
But imagine the resonance of saying that the nafrat that the Sikhs witnessed in 1984, that will never be repeated, coming from a Gandhi. That was an opportunity, in my opinion, that Rahul Gandhi really missed. RP Singh, your reaction to that?
Ayushman, I'll speak.
Well, according to the people of Punjab,
you keep the feeder down on Mr. Kadial because he...
Yeah, Mr. Kadial, you spoke uninterruptedly. Let RP Singh speak. RP Singh, please go ahead.
Yeah, sure. I won't interrupt him.
Thank you so much. And if please, you will take care of my rights. Let's talk about what happened in Punjab. 80s till 90s, there's a book by Mr. G.B.A. Sidhu, the raw officer, Khalistan Conspiracy. No congressman has challenged that. It categorically states that Operation 1, Operation 2 was led by Sanjay Gandhi and Rajiv Gandhi. Both were led by these two gentlemen under the guidance of Mrs. Gandhi. What happened in Punjab in 80s was purely done only to paint Sikhs as anti-national, the most nationalist community as anti-national, to win 1985 elections. And what happened during Operation Bluestar and before and after Operation Bluestar, 25,000 youth of the Punjab was killed on name of terrorism. Thereafter, what happened in Delhi was coincidental that Mrs. Gandhi died, and they took advantage of that. Although the book says that if that would not happen, even then the 84 riots would have happened, 84 killings would have happened, genocide would have happened, because target was 85 election. So a party which did such a big communal divide for their political objectives, what do you expect from them? I least expected from Mr. Rahul Gandhi was that he went to Darbar Sahib, welcome, anyone can go to Golden Temple or other Gurdwaras and temples, but just in the very complex is Akal Takht Sahib. He would have gone there and seek forgiveness for what his grandmother, what his chacha, what his father did to Sikhs. That voice still resonates in my ear. Jab bada ped girta hai to dharti hilti hai. That was not all. I mean, Kamal Nath, Jagdish Tytler, please go through that book. Kamal Nath was part of that gang which planned that massacre, which planned what happened in Punjab, which executed what Tytler was the foot soldier, what happened in Delhi thereafter. And Tytler's sting operation still is on YouTube, which categorically states that I, along with Rajiv Gandhi, was going around the city, checking around how many shops have been burnt. I mean, Tytler is on record. So, what do you expect from this party, for whom Tytler was still part of the Bharat Jodo Yatra? Until people would have raised their voice, he would have been very much part of it. And Kamal Nath is their most designated chief minister and man who is the man for the Rahul Gandhi and Congress party.
Absolutely.
So fact is that for them, they are rubbing salt on our wounds. And I'm sorry, sir, my sisters and my daughters and my mother were raped 21 times, sir. My family clans were raped. Each one was raped 21 times in Talokpuri. There were people who were butchered, tires were put around their necks, and this was all pre-planned. He could have gone there, told to Jathar Akal Takht Sahib, sir, I'm here for forgiveness. Please forgive my family, and I'm going to take this chapter forward. Jathar Akal Takht would have, he could have made his repentance there, and Jathar Akal Takht would have assigned him some sort of penalty. Penalty mean, no, give me a second. Penalty mean doesn't mean hanging. He would have told him, okay, for next 3 months, please do car seva or do Jodagar seva. I mean, that could have at least put some balm on the wounds of the Sikhs. Instead, they are playing it other way around. They are talking about everything else, but not about what Gandhis did in 80s and 90s just for election objective.
Absolutely. Ravi Srivastava, and that's my main point. The ghost of the 1984 riots have been haunting the Gandhis for years now, and it has been used as a political weapon against the Gandhi family. I mean, just look at the numbers. Over 2,800 people killed. Only around 20 people convicted for murder since 1984. That's a conviction rate of less than 1%. Forget the legalities, just from a political standpoint. In your opinion, did Rahul Gandhi miss a massive opportunity when it comes to exercising that ghost of 1984 away from his family?
Ayushman, both the political parties, Congress can never get washed out the blemish of 1984 genocide, and nor the BJP can ever be excused for the massacre they did, a genocide they did for the minorities in 2002. So both the cases, I think they don't deserve any moral high ground, and they don't deserve any such thing. Now the fact is, this Bharat Jodo Yatra is a huge success for that matter. I think Rahul Gandhi has penetrated into the hearts of people by saying that let us give up the hatred, let us unite, let us join hands together. And he is doing it for the nation. And he has succeeded so far. And BJP in last 4 months have only found out some 24 faults with the Rahul Gandhi. Somewhere why he is with the pastor, why he is with the Muslim leader, why he is with the Sikh leader, why is he going to Darbar Sahib in Amritsar, why is he wearing a white t-shirt, all kind of flimsy things these people have been talking about, and that people are seeing it literally, that how they are trying to malign the image of the particular party. But the fact is that this is true, that Sardar Manmohan Singh, who was the then Prime Minister of the country, apologized to the nation on the floor of the House. I don't think that any more clarifications, any more excuses are needed. Rest is all in the hands of law. If the Kamal Nath is guilty, if Tytler is guilty, or any third person is guilty, he should be hanged for that matter. But let the law take its own course. It is not that the Congress is going to punish them or BJP is going to punish them.
Right.
There was a BJP government for 6 years. There was a BJP government for 8 years. What could they do? Why they could not put that balm on the Sikh victims of Delhi? What did they?
I want to take that point to Hemant Athri. Mr. Hemant Athri, you think that's why the politics, this continues to be a perennial political issue at the end of the day because of the slow-moving wheels of justice? As I was pointing out, since 1984, only around 20 people convicted for murder, a conviction rate below 1%. Over 2,800 people killed in those ghastly riots which took place in the national capital and other parts of the country. This slow-moving pace of justice, is this what keeps this issue alive for both the Congress as well as the BJP?
No, Ayushmanji, it has to be seen in a different way. See, what happened in Punjab, that was, terrible. It was ghastly. But one has to understand, once some leader, it may be Rahul Gandhi or somebody from BJP, where he goes and what he says, you and me can't decide. See, every political party has their own agenda. What you say, what I say, it can't be decided by somebody, or particularly by the opponents. As far as these things are concerned, how many people are convicted, how many have been punished? See, there were 6 years of Atal Bihari Vajpayee's government. Now, this is running 9th year as far as BJP government is concerned. What has happened? The onus lies on them also, as far as Punjab thing was concerned, or the Sikh rights was concerned, as for that matter. Now, the thing is, why BJP, why Congress party do such things on such sensitive issues in such sensitive times. One has to understand that Punjab's law and order situation is not very good at this particular time. Once Rahul Gandhi went there and he paid obeisance at the biggest temporal place of Sikhs, where was the problem and where was the thing? How you and me can decide that what he is supposed to say and what is not? After those rights, Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh on the floor of House, he felt apology. And after that, how many people from BJP have felt sorry for Gujarat riots? That again is a question. And how many people have been convicted in Gujarat riots till date? That again is a question. And that needs to be asked. The issue is all these things which happened at least 38 years back in Punjab, and after that, three Congress governments, mind it, three Congress governments have ruled Punjab. So why invoking this issue at this point in time once Dr. Manmohan Singh himself has apologized for that? The issue is how BJP is not able to get the foothold as far as Punjab is concerned. They are limited to 3 seats. That is the only state which they could not crack in 2014 also and 2019 also. So the issue is all the points that you are taking up, they are very valid questions. How many people were convicted? Why those rights were there? But that same question applies to Gujarat also and so many other places also, to Delhi also, which happened 2 years back, in UP also and many other places. So let's not focus on a particular thing. The issue is how all these parties have to be sensitized to not make the things over sensational in a particular way to garner just a few votes.
Right. Mr. Atri, I want to take that question to RP Singh. Mr. RP Singh, how do you react to that charge coming in from Mr. Hemant Atri that you flogging the 1984 horse is because of your political failure and expanding your footprint in the state of Punjab?
Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Atri is a very learned person. He is forgetting. Delhi was a massacre, not a riot. Please don't name it as it was a genocide, planned, pre-planned. I'm quoting the book of Mr.
Sir, fully agree.
Please go through that.
Sir, fully agree. But what your government has done?
Atre साहब, मैं बताता हूँ आपको मैंने क्या किया, हमने क्या, मैं बताता हूँ, सुनिएगा, ध्यान से सुनिएगा. So, and in Gujarat, it was 77 and 90 Muslims killed, 254 Hindus were also killed. That was a riot. The difference between, not a single congressman was killed in Delhi. All innocent Sikhs were butchered in Delhi. Butchered, I'm using word, because one Kishori Lal killed 7 people with his butcher's knife, and Mrs. Sheila Dixit went to protect the person. But what did we do? Okay, let me come to this. We have pursued these cases. I personally am an intervener in all these cases. 16th January is again is the date. Again, after 2.5 months, there is a date from Mr. Tytler. Mr. Sajjan Kumar is behind bar. We are not going to spread Mr. Tytler also. Although Mr. Tytler is trying his best for a closure, the fact is that it's not going to happen. And Congress did it best. They purchased the witnesses. They sent the witnesses abroad. They did their best not to ensure that none of the people is prosecuted. And merely by saying apology in a parliament, does it work? 30,000, Mr. Atri, you know Punjab better than me. 25,000 people are still missing in Punjab. We don't know where are they, whether they were killed, whether they were, where they have gone. And more than 2,800 official figure. I'll give you a list of 5,224 people in Delhi itself who were killed. So it's almost 30,000 people who were killed because of this process. And again, Mr. Atri, you are a London man. Please, you would have read the GPS Sidhu book. It categorically states that this was all pre-planned only for winning 1985 elections. And who, Mr. Atri, will you not vouch that Sikh is the most nationalist community in the country today? And we were painted like as we are the demons in the country only for winning elections. And first time, minority card was played against the majority card to win elections. And for that reason, you killed 30,000 people. Who created Bhindranwale? Let me question. Who created Bhindranwale? Let's talk about that. Who gave the shelter to Bhindranwale? Who gave the patronage to Bhindranwale? So we all know what happened in Punjab, and thereafter was all the giving of Congress party. And today Rahul Gandhi talks about Bharat Jodo. He can do that, but best again, as our anchor Singh Ashwin is saying, that he could have gone simply to Akal Takht and would have and tender apologized. It would have put some balm, but he didn't do so. Neither is Raja told him.
Absolutely.
Because the people around him says, "Ho gaya to ho gaya, hua to hua." That was the language they use.
Yeah, absolutely. My point is that Rahul Gandhi missed that political opportunity when it comes to blunt the BJP's attack. Ashpreet, I want to take you through the observations of the Nanavati Commission report. I mean, I fail to kind of like understand why does Jagdish Tytler still hold such a big position inside your party. Clean chits that were given by the CBI were rejected by the courts. In fact, in 2005, the Nanavati Commission recommended a case lodged against Sajjan Kumar and Jagdish Tytler. 2005. Sajjan Kumar was convicted in 2018, 34 years after the riots. And Jagdish Tytler continues to get the patronage of the Gandhis. He still holds high positions in the Congress party. Whenever he comes into the limelight, when it comes to a position in the Congress party, the BJP attacks the Congress and then the Congress pulls Jagdish Tytler back. For how long will you continue this rigmarole surrounding Jagdish Tytler?
Thank you. First of all, you said that there's a case going on. Why are these people in our party? Well, why is Pragya Thakur ji in the Bharatiya Janata Party? And if we go by the statistics, if we go by facts, 55% of Lok Sabha MPs of the Bharatiya Janata Party are facing criminal charges, and they are from the Bharatiya Janata Party. I mean, if you were to do away with it,
still loving the salt.
No, please do not interrupt.
But you keep saying that when it comes to 84, you're the party with a difference.
Number two, may I just answer? See, we have apologized for it. The Bharatiya Janata Party, in fact, Mr. R.P. Singh should apologize for 3,400 times on this very debate, because not a single apology has been rendered by the Bharatiya Janata Party. Number two, we do not understand one thing. Is the Bharatiya Janata Party a bigger, holds a bigger stake than the people of Punjab in this matter? The people of Punjab would not have voted us to power in 2002 after 94 if they wouldn't have forgiven us for that.
I need to answer that also.
Now hear the answer. So we have apologized for it. When would the Bharatiya Janata Party apologize for the dead bodies that were found in Ganga? When would the Bharatiya Janata Party apologize to the daughters, to the widows, that have been rendered without a home, homeless now because of the farm laws?
Right. I think we're moving off track. You're just saying that the BJP has criminals in their camp, so so it's okay for us to have them as well. R.P. Singh, you want to... Absolutely, you said why haven't you taken action against Jagdish Tytler? Your reaction to that is why doesn't the BJP take action against Sadhvi Pragya? So this whataboutery keeps going on at the end of the day.
No. May I answer that?
Yeah,
the point is that you ask questions to the Congress party, but you'd ask us 10 questions, we'll answer all of them. You do not ask a single question to the Bharatiya Janata Party, which is in the government. That is where the problem lies. And number two, the issue at hand is Bharat Jodo Yatra. If Mr. Gandhi would not have gone to the Golden Temple, the BJP would have said, why did you not pay obeisance there? Now that Mr. Gandhi has gone there, why did he go there? Why did he not do
I'm
this?
sure you're well.
Politics.
I'm sure you have the BJP playbook right in front of you. You must be quoting from that. R.P. Singh, you wanted to react to that point. That Congress point comes very consistently, that the Congress has been a major political player in Punjab despite 1984, and the BJP is just frustrated with that point.
3 seats.
Thank you. Politically, when there's a vacuum, the party which is there to be seen fills the vacuum. And that has happened in Punjab. Mr. Athray also will know that BJP was not in the system to fill in the vacuum. And that way, we were also in alliance partner with Akali Dal and we were there in the system. But political vacuum being filled is a separate thing. Psychologically, Sikhs have not forgotten, neither will they forgive. I am telling you today, it's 38 years I have been fighting cases in the court myself personally. I appear in each and every date of Sajjan Kumar, Tytler, and also in the Digra committee report also. We have fight. Again, 16 January is another court date. I'll be there physically present. But, and I'm saying on record, I have contested this. After my death, my children will contest this. We'll fight for justice. Till the time we don't get justice on this. The reason is Congress brazen it out by simply saying that we won elections. Sir, you can win elections, but you can't win people's heart and mind. And keep this in mind, Uttam Singh in mind. 21 years took. 1919 Jallianwala Bagh happened. After 21 years, 1940, he went and did what he did to General Dyer. But we'll fight it in the court, we'll fight as per the democratic norms, and we'll ensure that justice come for 1984. You can brazen it out, as I repeat again. it was a good opportunity for Sir Rahul Gandhi. He could have gone and seek forgiveness. He would have gone and repented there and would have sought whatever penalty or whatever punishment Akal Takht would have given to him. But he would not do, because the psyche and the mindset is, oh, we did it. So what is great in it? And the problem is, till now Congress holds Tytler in their kitty. For whenever they want, they just bring him out. And man also arm twist Congress party leaders or Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi, because he knows a lot of things about 84. If he spells out, Mrs. Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi will be in trouble because of that.
Absolutely.
Just one thing, may I say one thing?
Yeah, I'll give you, okay, Ashpreet, I'll give you the final word. Go ahead.
So all I'm saying is the Bharatiya Janata Party should do away with the double standards, because they have just inducted very recently a couple of Congress leaders. One of the significant leaders happened to be Captain Amrinder Singh.
Why you have to bring politics into the killing of the people, sir? Politics has nothing to do with it. This is I'm sorry. You can't get into political slugfest because of this. You can win elections. Winning elections has nothing to do with the justice. We will still fight for justice. But your winning elections doesn't help. Your winning elections don't help us. You can win elections, but the scar of 1984 still stays. The scar of 1984 still stays, and it will stay till the time these Tytler and Kamal Nath are not sent Bihar, Rahimbar, like Sajjan Kumar. And I'm saying the record, we are thankful to Prime Minister Modi because of him. Sajjan Kumar is Rahimbar, and cases are being pursued against Tytler also. So let's be very clear. The scar will stay till the time justice comes to us. You can win elections, you can mock and rub the salt. But I'm telling you today, Sikhs are not going to forget. Sikhs are not going to forgive you on this.
I think the Bharatiya Janata Party needs to introspect a bit. If you want to condemn and say that we
Sir,
are guilty, you cannot be taking the leaders of the Congress.
Gentlemen, I'm sorry. I think I'll have to intervene. Otherwise, this war of words will continue. I'll give the final word to the analysts on the panel, Ravi Srivastava and then Hemant Attri. Ravi Srivastava, you first.
The way both the political parties are alleging each other, I think that's not the solution, and that's not the way. What Rahul Gandhi is doing is a wonderful thing, and he has already reached now almost the fag end of his yatra, and it has evolved a lot of issues across the country. Let people talk about that instead of the riots that have already happened, and for that some people have been punished and some people are being garlanded after coming out of the jail. So all those kind of things, both the parties have got their own...
but are you convinced that he's raised his political stock after the Bharat Jodo Yatra?
Yeah, but now it is they are just trying to malign and talk all nasty things about Rahul Gandhi. He's a young leader who is giving a lot of good talks and very logical solutions to the problems.
Sir, 50 साल का हो गया, कब तक young leader रहेगा Rahul Gandhi? Hemant Attri, I'll give you the final word.
I'm sorry. You say 50 is not young.
Is it?
What is the problem?
Is
it?
He's 52
is it
years old adolescent.
Of course.
Yes. It is.
He's definitely
yes,
the
heart should always
adolescent.
be young. I think Mr. Singh would understand that the heart should always
he's
be
young. He's a 52-year-old
I think Mr. Singh is also very young here.
Right.
13-14 साल का 52 साल की उम्र का है.
I think the Bharatiya Janata Party should...
Ashpreet, by that logic, you and I are toddlers then, for that matter, when it comes to this.
I'm sorry, the Bharatiya Janata Party should start apologizing for all the communal riots that have been happening. Have they apologized for a single riot?
Okay, I think you made your point. Hemant Attri, I'll give you the final word beyond the political rigmarole, which will just continue to escalate. Rahul Gandhi, in my opinion, and I'll stand by that, I think he missed a very crucial political opportunity. I'll give you the final word. Last 30 seconds to you.
Ayushman ji, what you score with the opportunity or what you miss with an opportunity, that sole prerogative lies with you. As far as Mr. Singh was concerned, I fully salute the nationalism of Sikhs. There is no doubt and confusion about it. But the issue is why any single individual should be killed and why the preparators of that particular killing should not be brought to the book. The same thing happened in Gujarat. The same thing happened in this place, Punjab, as far as Sikh rights are concerned. And you can't defend one thing with the other.
Absolutely.
What Pragya Thakur has been doing, it is, it's bizarre. She is under the oath of Indian Constitution. She is a parliamentary. And how she can enter the parliament with those kind of words?
I'm sorry, gentlemen. We're out of time now. RP Singh, Ashpil Khadiyal, Hemant Athri, Ravi Srivastava, thank you for joining us on this debate. Now, shifting focus to debate 2. And the story that took the nation by storm, ladies and gentlemen, was the Air India urination row. Now, in the latest, Delhi's Patiala House Court has dismissed the bail petition filed by accused Shankar Mishra. He was arrested by the Delhi police on the 6th of January from Bangalore for allegedly urinating on a co-passenger on board an Air India New York Delhi flight. In November last year. Remember, this incident took place weeks back. Now, as per the allegations, the accused were voluntarily drunk and had consumed alcohol during the flight. The fact has not been denied by the applicant Shankar Mishra himself. Now, during the detailed arguments, Advocate Manu Sharma, representing the accused, submitted a bail application stating that Mishra couldn't control his drink, but the unzipping was not sexual in nature and he is not a flight risk. But this is what the court said after denying the bail plea. Now, the court has said that the accused failed to join the probe even after the notice. The conduct of the accused doesn't inspire confidence. The accused tried to contact the victim, and they can't rule out the possibility of witness tampering. Other witnesses are yet to be interrogated, while the investigation is at a very initial stage. So, is this incident now a case beyond the breach of protocol because the victim alleges that she was threatened by the accused family? Are we looking at a bigger case now beyond the shocking incident which happened aboard that flight? Right. I'm joined by Ananya Bhatnagar on the broadcast to get the latest when it comes to the legal dynamics of this case. Ananya, this observation of the court that they can't rule out the possibility of witness tampering in this case. How is this likely to change the dynamics of this entire case?
Well, it has already changed the dynamics of this whole case because the bail has been denied to Shankar Mishra in this particular case, and the court on the prima facie believes that his acts were actually something that could cause outraging of the modesty of a woman. In fact, the court went on to say that his act of relieving himself on a woman and a co-passenger was disgusting, and in fact, it has shaken the public conscience, and that's the reason why it actually amounts to outraging the modesty of a woman. Secondly, the court says that he has not joined the investigation himself, but only after he did not even respond to the Section 41A notices, and even after non-bailable warrants were issued, he was then arrested from Bengaluru, is what the court notes, and that's the reason why the court says that he is a flight risk. In fact, court also mentioned that he can tamper with the witnesses and the complainant in this case because it was alleged by the counsel for the accused person, by the counsel for the complainant in this particular case, that Shankar Mishra tried to contact the witness into this particular case, and also, in fact, the complainant in this particular case, and his father messaged the complainant saying that the karma will hit them back, and that's the reason why it is kind of an influence that is being drawn on the complainant, and that's what the prosecution fears, that in case he actually in fact, can influence the complainant and the witnesses in this case. The investigation is at a nascent stage at this point of time, and that's the reason why a bail has to be denied to Shankar Mishra in this particular case. A big blow coming into the legal team of Shankar Mishra, and definitely a big win coming in for the Delhi police in this particular case. However, in fact, the Delhi police has told the court that 3 of the crew members and certain co-passengers are yet to be examined in this particular case, and that's the reason why a bail cannot be granted. All of the arguments were leveled by Shankar Mishra, justifying that the 354 is not made out against him, are completely denied by the court, and the court has said that his acts were prima facie amounting to outraging the modesty of a woman, and in fact were disgusting in nature, is what the court has said. So completely a big blow coming in for Shankar Mishra. completely changing the legal dynamics of this case. And now we'll have to see as to how the police investigates and what would be coming in this particular charge
That's what
sheet
we
when the
have to
police
see, that
ends its
where this case
investigation.
goes forward from here, because these are like some damning observations coming in from the court. Let's get to our guests. I'm joined by Dr. Vikram Singh, former DGP Uttar Pradesh, Ashwini Dubey, Supreme Court advocate, Devendra Pednekar, ex-cabin crew in charge of Jet Airways, as well as Captain Amit Singh, aviation expert. Dr. Vikram Singh, I'll come to you first. Now, you've heard the latest update that's come in this entire case. It was a disgusting act which this individual did aboard that flight in November. But now we're also getting details that the court finds that you can't rule out the fact that this man will try to tamper with evidence as well as influence the witnesses. Do you think criminal conspiracy as a charge should also be added beyond outraging the modesty of a woman?
There is merit in what you say, that this act of criminal conspiracy needs to be added. The moment somebody approached the complainant and said that your karma will overtake you, adding insult to injury, and his trying to influence and offering money to the complainant is most despicable. And I have never heard of this kind of depravity ever. Now, in the fitness of things, this needs to be persecuted, because Shankar Mishra's defense has no legs to stand on. And indeed, the lawyer friends will tell you why not. The nation is outraged. The flying society is outraged. I don't think, apart from Shankar Mishra's immediate family, there would be very many people who would condone his despicable conduct. And to say that it was an act out of inebriation is just not tenable, because he consumed alcohol on his own free will and then conducted himself in an unbecoming manner. If he did not know how to hold his drinks, he jolly well should not have consumed more alcohol than was good for his system. Therefore, the bail not only should be denied, but fresh charges should be slapped.
Right. Ashwini Dubey, beyond the legal modalities of this case, okay, we'll try to reconnect with Ashwini Dubey. Devendra Pednekar, what came to light in this entire case is the fact that this shocking incident which took place aboard that flight in November was not reported to the proper authorities. In fact, there were meetings between Air India as well as the victim's family. There were 4 such meetings before any police action could be taken. It was, I think, 26 December, a month after this entire incident, that the green light was given by the victim's family to Air India to file a police complaint. Now, put yourself in that cabin. Now, once you see something like this, as per the rule books, what should the cabin crew have done?
See, as per the rule books, the cabin crew should have reported firstly to the captain, so that the message is relayed on ground. He was handcuffed and arrested as we landed. And beyond that, every matter should have been reported to the concerned authorities rather than mediating in between the accused and the victim. So basically, that particular thing should not have been done by the cabin crew at all. That's where I feel that the cabin crew must have gone wrong. I don't know the entire incident after the inquiry that has been conducted and what the cabin crew had to say, but this is where it should have ended. They should have reported each and every matter, what happened on board the aircraft, to the necessary authorities.
Right. But in your career, have you seen a kind of a unspoken rule that in first class, if there's a high profile individual and an incident like this takes place, you need to keep the details in wraps? Was there some sort of an unspoken rule when you were serving as a cabin crew?
No, there's nothing like that. See, it all depends on the person who's dealing with the situation. But as far as the rule books are concerned, you have to report. Every guest is similar to a cabin crew. It doesn't matter whether he's traveling in the first class or an economy class. So basically, every matter that happens on board the aircraft has to be reported to the necessary authorities after landing.
Right. Amit Singh, I want to take that point to you. Now, whenever it comes to these kind of incidents aboard a flight, what tends to happen is that the cabin crew is very shocked. We also saw those visuals of those 2 people brawling in economy class, and the air hostesses can't restrain them when it comes to taking action against them. In these situations, do you think it's very important to have the air marshal system in India? Because we've seen so many cases of unruly passengers, people who the cabin crew fail to control. I mean, especially when you're in mid-air, once you don't have access to the police forces on the ground. what should be the modus operandi in the wake of such cases that have come to light when it comes to handling unruly passengers? The rule book is at on one side, but once you're in mid-air and the cabin crew can't handle passengers like this, what should be done? What changes would you suggest?
I think cabin crew
See,
needs to
the
be more
unruly
assertive
passengers.
and
Right. That was so Amit Singh. Devendra,
Yeah,
let
so
Amit Singh
unruly
answer that.
passenger is basically classified under different levels. So, and the cabin crew is trained to identify and classify those passengers, whether they are physically, they are physical or verbally abusive, or they are trying to enter the cockpit, force the entry into the cockpit. So that is a different classifications. Once they identify a person who is behaving differently, they're supposed to keep an eye. And to deal with that outcome, eventuality of people brawling and all, or one person becoming unruly, they basically identify an able-bodied person or a group of person around him who can help them in that situation. So that this is what goes on in the back end. So they immediately start preparing once they see a potential of an unruly passenger or a fight breakout. So they want to take help of the passengers who are willing to help. So that is why they try to contact or talk to the passengers and then eventually overpower them. You must have seen videos in foreign airlines where passengers have helped
Absolutely,
the
yeah.
cabin crew to tie up the passengers. So that is one thing. These sky marshals cannot be on board every flight. They are only for security risk. So security is basically if they have a prior information or a lead that there is a potential threat of a hijack, or if the aircraft is operating to a sensitive zone, then only they would be carried. But people who are intoxicated can anytime turn unruly. So they become a safety and a security risk, even though they are not categorized as criminals. So that is how the process goes. And the reporting culture is basically on the airline, how the airlines, uh, their culture in the airlines, how they do things. So if the management is not supportive of the cabin crew in these situations, they do not get proper feedback of the outcome. If the cabin crew keeps reporting and they do not get a feedback, then they lose interest.
Right. But
When they lose interest.
But the main question is in situations like this, what are the tangible options for the cabin crew members to take action mid-flight, especially when you feel that you can't physically tackle a person who's being unruly?
So if the cabin crew themselves cannot tie the person down, because the procedure is that they give a warning letter and then a final warning letter, and then they basically have restraining systems. Under the rules, under the conventions also, there is a procedure for restraining a person. Restraining can be by different means. So if that is also not possible, then it becomes a security risk, and then the captain has the authority to divert the aircraft to the nearest airport and offload these persons, and they be taken into custody. So to avoid all these things, it is better to prepare and prevent. Like a person who is in a state of intoxication cannot enter the aircraft, cannot be in an aircraft, and cannot leave the aircraft.
Right.
So that is the rule. So all these policies are derived from the rules of how much alcohol to be served. So if the cabin crew see that there is a behavior change or the speech is incoherent, so that is a sign of intoxication. So immediately serving should be stopped.
Right.
And the person should be told that this is the consequence if you continue like this. So these situations
but
have to be
protocols
handled very delicately.
Absolutely,
Way.
but protocols on one side, how much of it is implemented, how much of it has an impact, that also, these are two very different things, and clearly we've seen that over here that protocols were not followed. I mean, you've given me the rule book, but clearly that wasn't done, and it seems that the options are very limited for the cabin crew when it comes to properly handling unruly passengers like this. Ashwini Dubey, when it comes to this entire case, now that the court has given these observations that you can't rule out the fact that there could be witness tampering, that there could be signs of intimidation as well, do you think this is a fit case for the judge to throw the book at Shankar Mishra to make an example of him?
Yes, Ayushman, look, the reforms is the need of hour. Reforms, be it the international flights or be it the domestic flights. At a time, instead of learning from the incidents which have happened just now, the reforms which were brought into effect 50 years back, those needs to be evaluated, changed and brought into effect from time to time. This is one. Point number two, Section 3 of the Civil Aviation Requirements Rules, which deals with the international flights, which categorically says that when somebody is a disruptive passenger or somebody by their action or intention jeopardize or might jeopardize the safety of the aircraft, persons aboard it or the property therein, then the International Air Transport Association rules come into play. And if it comes into play, first and foremost responsibility lies on the captain of the aircraft and the crew members to take account of this situation and put that person away from all the passengers. Now the point number two, there are two kind of incidents, one in the domestic flights, one in the international flights. In international flights, the serving of the liquor is allowed, but consuming excessive alcohol. But what would be the excessive alcohol? That has not given in the International Air Transport Association. So there has to be a limit. Point number three, when it's come to the refusing to comply with the safety instructions by somebody, when it comes to the refusing to comply with the safety instructions, what are those safety instructions must be brought into effect? Instead of the 126 countries which are running their airplanes from one country to the another, they come to the rule book. In 2022, what new norms have come to effect? This is to be looked into. Now the Shekhar Mishra is one of the classic example. Before that, we have seen the Kunal Kamraj incident. Before that, we have seen the two member of parliaments, one from the Rashtriya Shiva Sena and other person where the no flying risk and other 3 months and 6 months and 2 years this notification and the rule was brought into effect. The question herein is, why can't we decide that what would be the limit for serving a liquor? Either you serve liquor or don't serve liquor. On the second, third thing, if somebody does not follow the rule of the law, then that must be taken into consideration. And verbal and physical confrontation with crew members or other passengers must be taught early. What has been done in this case? When Shekhar Mishra should have been taken into the account and should have been handed over to the police, saying that, look, there is a law which says that wherever the aircraft is registered, and at that point of time, the FIR will be registered and the crew member will be accountable to loss to the FIR. That should have been done. And instead of this, they tried to wash away everything. They tried to save the flights, aircrafts. I mean, the companies, their image. And that was reported after the lady returned after more than 1 month.
And the maximum action that's been taken is that the crew has been derostered. And Vikram Singh, I'll give you the final word. Now, this is a serious security issue that has emerged in the wake of this incident. Do you think such individuals should immediately be put on the no-fly list? And would you take action against the crew beyond simple derostering?
Absolutely. There is no doubt about it, Ayushmanji, that too much has to be done, constant improvement, constant innovation, and then a relook of the statutes that we have. And indeed, Shankar Mishra and the likes have brought dishonor to the flying community, and he has to be taken to task. And also the cabin crew and the captain have to be accountable for all that happens in the aircraft, and they should be accountable for what they have not done. They have disappointed all of us. They should have lodged an FIR immediately rather than wait for the complainant to lodge a formal complaint. They should have done this suo moto. Well, better late than never. There are important lessons to be drawn from this incident, and those lessons should form a part of the improvement and innovation in the rule book in times to come.
Right. Thank you, Dr. Vikram Singh, Ashwini Dubey, Devendra Pednekar and Captain Amit Singh for joining us on this debate. So, Shankar Mishra is not out of the woods yet, but the question remains, and as our legal expert pointed out, when it comes to seeking any kind of like action against the carriers, against Air India, we can't, the Aam Aadmi doesn't have much option because the DGCA is the prime authority. At the same time, it's a fit case to throw the book at Shankar Mishra to ensure that these cases don't take place again. And the demand is that such individuals should be immediately put on a no-fly list, and they should be banned from flying for a certain amount of time to ensure they pay the price for behaving in such a horrific manner. We'll continue to track all the developments when it comes to this story, the legal dynamics of the story. But that's all we have to pack in on the show. Thank you for watching.
Restore its notice to air mission system. That's the latest statement. We are performing final validation checks and reloading the system now. So looks like the technical glitch has now been sorted. They are reloading the system. Operations across national airspace system are affected. We will provide frequent updates as we progress. So reloading the system is also not going to be a small job. It's not something that will happen in 2 minutes. It's going to take some time.
But as you were mentioning earlier, like how many hours of fuel a flight actually stores in itself. So probably maybe a couple of hours, if the situation gets restored, maybe the dangerousness of the situation can be limited. But if it continues for like maybe a couple of hours, maybe 4-6 hours, we don't know how many flights or how many long route flights are there which are still in air and which can actually cope up with that time of endurance in terms of fuel supply.
Well, this is the Federal Aviation Administration has confirmed that the United States notice to air mission system has failed.
All right, there's some latest news coming in. Let's go to that. All flights across the US have been grounded. That's the latest news that we're getting right now. And this is due to a glitch with the Federal Aviation Administration computer system. The US media has reported, but this is a big development, that all flights across the United States of America have been grounded due to a glitch with the Federal Aviation system. Our US media has put out this information. What exactly are the factors for how long this glitch may last and what are the further details? We'll try and connect with my colleagues and get more information on this. But for now, the information that is coming in is that all flights have been grounded due to a glitch with the Federal Aviation computer system. Whether it's a security alert or it's only a technical fault, all of those details are awaited. But to be grounded in this manner due to a technical glitch, of course, is a big disruption in the aviation sector in US, of course, which is one of the biggest carriers when it comes to passenger operation. But US flights, all US flights have been grounded. My colleague Abhishek with us on the broadcast to give us more details. Abhishek, over to you. Give us more details.
There has been some major technical glitch in the US aviation, which actually issues those NOTAM certification or NOTAM guidelines as per which any flight direction or any routes is decided, and it looks like there has been some technical error in that issuance, which has resulted almost all US flights to be grounded. As of now, if we can see some graphical detailing that tells the number of flights that are already in operation. There are some flights which are already in operation, which have already taken off, but those who were about to take off, they have been grounded. So it's a very chaotic situation and kind of very unprecedented, because one of the largest aviation routes are in USA. They are most busiest, and there are various inter-provincial flights and there are international flights that are coming to USA, and in that sense this is going to be very chaotic. The first technical error was reported on 10th of January and it was tried to be fixed, but now it looks like the authorities have been unable to fix that. The situation is very alarming, because now it's
an alarming situation, as Abhishek Jha is pointing out. I want to cut across to my colleague Anand Narasimhan as well, who will give us more graphic details about what exactly is the situation in the US airspace right now. Anand, over to you. Tell us more.
Well, thanks for that. Now, this is the current concentration of flights all over the United States. The website has suddenly got huge amount of traffic. This is Flight Radar 24 that we're looking at, and everybody is accessing it, so that's why it's also not uploading. But what you can see is this is the concentration of flights all over the United States. Now, if NOTAM is not working, these flights, how are they going to land safely is a big question mark, and that's the reason why, for security basis, all flights so far have been grounded by the FAA. We are given to understand that there are nearly 400 flights that stand affected. That's the information that we've got. And hundreds of these flights now standing grounded. 400 flights being delayed. The concentration, the air concentration of aircrafts over the United States largely focused concentrated towards the eastern side because most of the flights land towards New York and DC. Now you see the concentration increasing, and this is the total number of
From the time of the accident till the body was finally found on the road, nobody gets to know, despite the fact that an eyewitness is calling the police and is in touch with them.
Whatever Pakistan does is not talked about. What India does becomes the, the whole aspect structure of the entire Western